iRacing.com is the home of live online racing. If you've ever wanted to be a race car driver, join us and begin your sim racing career today. iRacing.com features licensed, laser-accurate race cars and racetracks from all around the world of motorsports. Our live online racing is second to none, and to prove it, iRacing hosts a number of unique events that take the world of video game car racing to the next level. For the second year in a row, iRacing invited professional race car drivers from around the world to compete in a live race that challenged drivers from the worlds of road racing and oval racing. The winning driver had to master both types of racing to be successful. Stay tuned to see the excitement for yourself.
Brad Keselowski from Rochester Hills, Michigan won the 2012 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship and did it in impressive fashion. He's also a longtime sim racer who enjoyed many of the NASCAR titles by Papyrus before moving to the iRacing platform. Will we see Brad have another intense battle at Watkins Glen tonight? Well, we're going to find out soon. Bruno Junqueira is known for his many years as a Champ Car driver. He had 8 wins in the series and now enjoys competing in the IZOD IndyCar Series and the American Le Mans Series. Bruno has limited iRacing experience, so it will be interesting to see how the Brazilian fares against a stacked field of experienced drivers. Cale Gale is one of the rising stars in the Camping World Truck Series. He won the last race of the 2012 season at Homestead Miami Speedway in dramatic fashion, beating Kyle Busch by just inches. Short tracks like Iowa are Cale's strong suit, however Watkins Glen could be a struggle for the Alabama native. Alex Gurney is a longtime fan favorite of the Grand Am Sports Car Series with 2 overall championships. In 100 career starts, Gurney has an impressive 15 wins and 43 podium finishes. Brandon Davis, an ARCA Series driver and K&N Pro Series driver, shocked everyone last year by pulling off the upset and winning the inaugural iRacing Pro Racer Champions. He finished second in both events, and that was enough to secure the overall title over Martin Plowman. Shane Van Gisbergen from Auckland, New Zealand currently drives for Stone Brothers Racing in the V8 Supercar Championship Series. In 66 races, Shane has 2 race wins to his name. Shane will certainly be a threat all night long, especially at Watkins Glen, as he won this race last season by holding off eventual champion Brandon Davis. The Englishman, Martin Plowman, has made several appearances in the IZOD IndyCar Series and is a winner in the Firestone Indy Light Series. Plowman still enters this race as one of the favorites after an impressive 2011 showing. Look for Plowman to be battling up front in both races this evening. Carl Edwards from Columbia, Missouri has claimed victory 19 times in the Sprint Cup Series since his first full-time season in 2005 and has finished runner-up twice in the series standings. Edwards is also a nationwide champion, claiming that title in 2007.
The first race was held at the bumpy and tight confines of Iowa Speedway. Iowa has proven to be a track that supports great side-by-side racing. The middle groove can easily hold off the bottom, which can result in some fierce battles and contact off the turns. There are several bumps that can snap the truck sideways, especially in turns 1 and 2. NASCAR drivers look to take control of the event early with their experience they bring to iRacing, and many road course specialists with limited oval laps look to just hold serve until the Glen. The NASCAR trucks have always been a favorite in the physical and virtual world. With 600 horsepower, high cornering speed, and immense drafting capabilities, it's no wonder some of the most competitive and thrilling finishes on iRacing come from the NASCAR trucks. The heavy vehicles with limited downforce would be a huge challenge for many of the IZOD IndyCar drivers and others with a strictly open-wheel background.
Qualifying would be crucial for both events, not only because of the difficulty of passing, but also because the drivers starting in the rear would not have the benefit of yellow flags to catch them up to the leaders during the race. Starting up front would also keep drivers away from the lap 1 drama that was common in last year's event. The top 5 were separated by a mere 0.04 of a second. Chad McCumbee would grab the pole position for Iowa, followed by NASCAR K&N East Series champion Kyle Larson, Richie Stanaway, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Timmy Hill. The First Racing Ford Mustang pace car heads to the infield here. The field is in command of Chad McCumbee as they come up at a 4. Green flag flies, and we are underway with the second annual iRacing Pro Race of Champions.
So far, so good into turn 1, at least up front. Number 15, Timmy Hill, taking a look.
Yeah, Timmy's no stranger to this either as he moves underneath the number 33 of Stanaway. Here comes the 8. Oh, big wiggle from Timmy Hill, and he's a great piece of driving.
Frank Kimball, too, up at the wall. Oh, man, this is getting ugly. Taylor into the wall. Jordan Taylor.
Ron Capps is also spinning around in the front straightaway here. Peter Dempsey, heavy damage, as we mentioned as well. There's a lot of drivers here in the back that dodged some bullets. Frank Kimball the second, as well, as we mentioned, heavy damage to that car. As we come up, we complete lap number 3 this time by. It's Chad McCumbee in the lead and being chased by Kyle Larson, Shane Van Gisbergen, Richie Stanaway, and Brad Keselowski. As you see the 4 underneath the 8, Brandon Davis, the defending champion of this series. Brad Keselowski, the champion of the Sprint Cup Series, go toe-to-toe at a corner number 4. Timmy Hill is there as well in the 15. Great racing at a corner number 4. 10 laps in the books. We are close to being halfway here. 4 is going to get back underneath him here, guys, as he looks at the 15 as well. It closes in. Parker Kligerman 4 pitches it in hard into corner number 3. Timmy Hill has to get on the binders on the outside line. Keselowski, as you mentioned there, Chris, he likes this outside line, but as they battle side by side, it's going to close in the guys behind them.
Oh, this is awesome. This is some great racing going on here. They're battling for Brad's currently up in 5th, Timmy Hill 6th, Davis 7th, and we're sitting with Parker Kligerman right now, who's come up from he started about mid-pack and is definitely having a good run. We were talking to him before the race, and I asked him if he was if he thought he was a favorite. Taking a look right now on Davis, as a matter of fact.
Just past halfway here is 14 laps completed this time by Keselowski. Gets up close and personal with the wall. Timmy Hill goes underneath in the number 15, and Keselowski going to door him going into corner number 1. Keselowski way up the racetrack. The 4 of Davis gets underneath, and Parker Kligerman is just waiting back there trying to see what's going to happen. Keep in mind, Parker Kligerman used to work for Brad Keselowski, former boss and driver there in the 8 and 26. Guys, keep a half eye on this battle for a second as well. Shane Van Gisbergen is all over the back of Kyle Larson and out of the inside of Kyle Larson. 99-97, side by side for position number 2, and this is about 1 second behind Chad McCumbee as the 97 looked that time by, couldn't complete the pass. Kyle Larson, the K&N East champion, running in second, trying to hold him off. Crossover move at a corner number 2, 15 and 8 going at it. Fantastic racing here for Brandon Davis. Looks underneath. Keep in mind, Davis won this race 1 season ago. 26 of Kligerman nearly pitches it in. We nearly saw 3 wide in corners 3 and 4 as Keselowski goes at it again. I don't know how many times Timmy Hill and Brad Keselowski have gone at it for this spot. Oh, contact. 15 up the track.
This battle is actually making them lose a lot of ground on the leaders. They're now 4 seconds back in the leaders, but these guys are acting like this is the last lap and they're going for the win. Battle for second, Van Gisbergen and Larson.
Oh, and they are door to door there. It's amazing how, I'm not sure if they made contact or not, but that was superb bit of driving. And they're going for it now. Well, we've got 3 laps to go. Amazing.
Keep in mind, guys, Shane Van Gisbergen very strong on the road, as is Chad McCumbee. McCumbee finished 3rd at Watkins Glen last season. 2 to go here. Those 2 might be ones to watch in the next one.
Actually, it's quite amazing how much McCumbee has actually checked out there, really. Look at the lead. He's got over a second lead, and it's only been a 25-lap sprint race as we come up to nearly 1 to go, I believe.
Richie Stanaway, who we haven't really talked about much, running 3rd in that 33 truck. He is now closing in on this battle for second, so he could be a factor for second place here any second, Tim.
Stanaway could very well pull off second if something happens in front of him. We're on the final lap down the bank straightaway. McCumbee leads. It's Larson, Van Gisbergen, and Stanaway for position at number 2. Working up through 3 and 4, the final set of corners, and Chad McCumbee come to victory at Iowa and win the first leg of the iRacing Pro Race of Champions. Kyle Larson holds on for second. Van Gisbergen, Stanaway, and the Sprint Cup champ Brad Keselowski comes home in 5th. And guys, don't count out that guy that finished 6th. Brandon Davis won this race 1 season ago.
Chad McCumbee dominated the truck race, leading every lap, but there were many spirited battles not far behind him. Camping World Truck Series driver Kyle Larson edged V8 supercar driver Shane Van Gisbergen for second. Richie Stanaway claimed 4th, and recently crowned NASCAR Sprint Cup champion Brad Keselowski finished 5th after he banged fenders in trying to fend off the likes of Parker Kligerman, Timmy Hill, and many others. NASCAR drivers used their oval experience to their advantage, claiming 8 of the top 10 spots in the final rundown.
The California native Joey Hand is a champion in the Star Mazda Series and co-winner of the 2011 24 Hours of Daytona while driving for Chip Ganassi Racing. Hand is probably known best for his tin top racing, where he has enjoyed much success across multiple series. He has also competed in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, finishing 15th in 2011. Joey is an avid user of iRacing and uses his private test sessions to improve his racecraft and familiarize himself with new courses. Parker Kligerman started out his racing career on road courses long before he set his sights for NASCAR. A frequent competitor in the Star Mazda Series, Kligerman likes to relive years gone by on the road courses of iRacing. Parker got his first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series win at Talladega in 2012, driving for Red Horse Racing, and made a bid for the championship right up to the final race of the season at Homestead. Throughout the year, Parker consistently battled for top 10 finishes and remained a threat week in and week out. As one of the more active users on iRacing, expect Parker to adapt to the virtual world without skipping a beat. Ron Capps has had a glorious career in the NHRA. With over 30 wins and a great attitude, Ron always enjoys testing his luck in other forms of racing. A frequent competitor in Tony Stewart's Prelude to the Dream, Ron looks to test his skills in the Pro Race of Champions once again. Last year, Capps raced near the middle of the pack, so it'll be fun to see if Capps has made any gains throughout the year. Kyle Larson is certainly a dark horse entering this event. The youngster, who is just 20 years old, looks to make a statement in a big way. Larson made his way through the USAC and Sprint Car ranks before moving to the K&N E-Series and Camping World Truck Series. He signed a driver development contract earlier in the year with Earnhardt Ganassi Racing to try and climb his way towards the Sprint Cup Series. Look for Larson to be a contender in both events and challenge for the overall championship. Fabian Coulthard was also raced in Auckland, New Zealand, and has been competing in the V8 Supercar Series since 2005. Fabian has had some setbacks since joining the Supercar Series. A couple of violent accidents make up most of his career highlights thus far, but Coulthard has a chance to turn his luck around tonight by beating some of the greatest drivers he's ever got the chance to race against in the iRacing Pro Race of Champions.
The second race was held at Watkins Glen International on the NASCAR Cup configuration. The Glen is a favorite among iRacers, and by running the Mazda MX-5, there would be some intense racing action with a lot of drafting to keep the leader within reach. Entering the inner loop is where the drafting effects can really wreak havoc for the race leader. Making a poorly timed move can lead to some bent fenders and exciting off-track excursions. The Mazda MX-5 is one of the most raced automobiles in the world and in iRacing. It offers the competitors a great balance between power and handling, which should make it quite a bit easier to drive than the Camping World truck they just finished racing.
Qualifying proved to be interesting at Watkins Glen as the draft played such a key role in the speed the cars would carry through the S's and right up to the inner loop. Normally, you would prefer a clean track ahead, but Richie Stanaway and Shane Van Gisbergen made an agreement to help each other drive throughout the high-speed section of the track throughout the qualifying session. The strategy worked out for both of them as Van Gisbergen and Stanaway started 1-2 on the grid. Chad McCumbee, after coming off his win at Iowa, would start from position number 3, with Benny Simonson from Denmark in 4th, and NASCAR Sprint Cup Series driver Josh Wise in 5th. Watkins Glen International. Chris, why don't you bring us to green here?
Okay, well, the pace car pulls off. It's going to be Chad McCumbee. It's going to be Richie Stanaway leading us off with Van Gisbergen starting alongside him. We're waiting for the green flag. Green flag is go, and we are off for the second race of the iRacing Pro Championship.
These guys already go single file. Oh, we got cars into the wall at the start-finish line. Looks like Alex Gurney. Cars are flying everywhere at the start-finish line.
Oh, that's
big mess. More cars off in turn 1. Cars going off, coming up the S's.
And Benny Simonson there, he got wide through turn 1, lost the back, went into the wall, came back onto the track, took a couple of cars with him as well.
And he's definitely done for the day as we watch Chad McCumbee in third. He's entered the outer loop for the first time. Van Gisbergen leads the way over Stanaway here, though.
These two, they're nose to tail starting off here. Stanaway, he's not letting Van Gisberg, he's not letting him get away, is he? He's right on his tail. Is he going to look for an opportunity coming into the penultimate corner? Oh no, it's too fast for him. But as they come up to the braking zone at the final turn, maybe he's going to find his chance.
And that is Bruno Junqueira off the racetrack there, as you saw it. Shane Van Gisbergen leading this race. Stanaway, McCumbee, Larson, your top four. Klingerman back there in fifth as well. And keep in mind, these top four guys, they're not only battling for the race win here. It's nice to win the race, but you also want to win a championship here. Keep in mind, Van Gisbergen won the Watkins Glen portion 1 season ago. He's trying to be the only driver to win 2 road sides of the iRacing Pro Race of Champions, but I'm sure he wants that championship to go with it too.
McCumbee, we just watched as he's taking a look at the bumper of Stanaway right now. All 3 guys in the battle for first.
This could get ugly through the bus stop. Let's see if they can hold it together. Stanaway and Gisbergen, oh, they're side by side, and Stanaway makes it stick. What a move.
What a great pass. And McCumbee just hanging on there behind him, just hoping something happens. Licking his chops now. He's going to take a look and try to make a pass on Van Gisbergen.
Well, if McCumbee can make this stick van past the Giz, then he will take the crown. He will be the iRacing Pro Race of Champions champion.
Yeah, if he finishes the way it is right now, he's looking at that championship. We got one car stopped there in the middle of the track, and we got one more off spinning around. As the leaders are going to dodge this here. I know Parker Kligerman went off as well, as we are halfway. 5 laps completed, 5 laps to go. Your leaders dodging everything so far. Van Gisbergen looking to the outside of Stanaway, as Stanaway will lead his first lap of this iRacing Pro Race of Champions. As we have 4 laps to go here, guys, you got to keep in mind, Shane Van Gisbergen, I'm sure, is thinking championship. He's got Stanaway right where he wants him right now. Great run in corner number 1 for Van Gisbergen. Pulls right up to Stanaway's back bumper. He's got to pass Stanaway to have a chance at winning this iRacing Pro Race of Champions. It's just a matter of when he does it as he goes through the S's. This is getting exciting up in front. Chad McCumbee might be comfortable back there in third if something happens to these top 2.
Well, McCumbee's in the box seat, but now we're on board, or we're just following there. Van Gisbergen, he is now side by side. He's going to try and take the outside line going into the entry of the bus stop, the way Stanaway done it a couple of laps ago. And it looks like he got a monster bit of pace in there. As you see, Stanaway take lots of curve there, go wide. McCumbee capitalises onto it. He moves into second. Stanaway drops down 2 places. He's now in third position.
Stanaway could have got a slowdown penalty for that, and here comes McCumbee now taking a look at Van Gisbergen. McCumbee wants this championship.
And they're side by side. They come into the penultimate corner, but Van Gisbergen, he's got the line. He's got it nailed.
So is McCumbie's got it.
Oh, he's got it on the final corner. He's taking it. Can Gisbergen, can he get a run now? Has he had a better outside line there? He's going to now try and going to get him on the inside line. These guys, it's been what, 2-3 corners now. They've been going side by side.
And Van Gisbergen led that lap, and this is allowing Stanaway to get right back into this battle. 3 laps to go. McCumbee taking a look. Oh!
Oh, and he closed the door there. This is not over by a long shot.
And there's been some fantastic battles all over this racetrack. You mentioned Keselowski and Hill. They had magnets on each other in the oval races. You look at that battle for a second as well. McCumbee has to defend over Stanaway. Stanaway is on the throttle and looking for something here, guys. When they come back across the stripe, 1 to go.
This is allowing Van Gisbergen to stretch his legs against these guys, to give them some breathing room against these guys. Stanaway taking a look.
All right, he's coming up to the penultimate corner. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. McCumbee holds it together, though, but Stanaway takes the second position from him.
That was awesome. What a great bit of driving by McCumbee. He wants this championship bad. He's going to hold on to third, and now it's stretching out. White flag as Shane Van Gisbergen is trying to win again here at the Glen.
Van Gisbergen looks to have this locked up, and the calculators are smoking to see who's going to win that 2,500.
Stanaway's trying his best to make a battle out of it for first, and if he took that position away, then that could change things. But Van Gisbergen, I don't think he's going to have any of that. He's looking pretty good. Couple car length right there. A couple cars coming up that are a lap down. Shouldn't affect this battle.
Yeah, and it looks like Van Gisbergen, he's going to have this sewed up. He's going to take it round the last corner, keep it nice and smooth. Stanaway doesn't look like it's close enough, so it looks like Shane van Gisbergen takes the second round of the iRacing Pro Championship.
Man, Stanaway sure made it a run though. 10th of a second behind him. Chad McCumbee third, Kyle Larson fourth. Great run for these guys up front.
For the second year in a row, Shane van Gisbergen won round 2 of the Pro Race of Champions at Watkins Glen. After many tense moments between the top 3 drivers, van Gisbergen emerged as the race leader. This year, he had to hold off newcomer Richie Stanaway, who finished second right on his heels. Iowa winner Chad McCumbee salvaged third place after late contact with Stanaway. Kyle Larson had another impressive run, finishing fourth. And Chris Diamond, the very talented sports car driver from the United Kingdom, rounded out the top 5. NASCAR Sprint Cup champion Brad Keselowski finished a strong 6th. Incredibly, the overall championship would be decided by the third tiebreaker rule, cumulative qualifying times, which gave the nod to New Zealander Shane van Gisbergen over American Chad McCumbee. Shane's experience in his V8 supercar certainly helped ease the transition to the truck, better than many drivers with road racing backgrounds. Not only that, but Shane is one of the fastest drivers in the iRacing service when racing tin tops. It was no surprise that Shane was able to secure victory at the Glen and capture his first Pro Race of Champions title. Van Gisbergen's charity of choice, the Ronald McDonald House of Auckland, New Zealand, will be getting a $2,500 donation in his name just in time for the holidays. McCumbee's success came as a bit of a surprise. Chad was able to race very competitively at the Glen, where for a brief moment he was able to take the lead from van Gisbergen. Many people think of Chad as an oval driver, but he has a lot of experience in a real Mazda MX-5 and the Grand Am Sports Car Series, which is where he spent most of his time in 2012. If it wasn't for late contact with Richie Stanaway, it would have been difficult to beat McCumbee in the overall results. Richie Stanaway and Kyle Larson also needed a tiebreaker for third. Stanaway continues to impress everyone in iRacing as he chases a spot in the 2013 iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series and continues racing the Formula Renault Series in the real world. Stanaway is clearly a favorite to win next year's event. Larson, with his 54 career iRacing wins, was expected to do fairly well, but perhaps not quite this well. Larson finished a respectable 2nd and 4th and beat some of the greatest drivers in the world. Larson looks to advance through NASCAR's top 3 divisions and make a name for himself in 2013, and this is a great start. Brad Keselowski's night was a lot like his 2012 Sprint Cup campaign. Keselowski capitalized on his opportunities and made the most out of each race. He was able to slip by many wrecks at the Glen in order to secure a top 5 finish overall. The iRacing Pro Race of Champions was a huge success. Once again, the racing led to some close finishes and tense battles between some of the greatest drivers in the world. The races created a lot of excitement for our members and fans watching all around the world. We would like to thank all of the drivers for their participation. Congratulations to our champion, Shane van Gisbergen, for his stellar performance, and to Chad McCumbee for making this one of the most exciting iRacing events ever. We've already started planning next year's event, and we can't wait to bring it to you.